The need to feel dirt under your feet, or to climb over rocks and logs, and to be in nature's own original form. That's a need that probably goes back to the age of the cavemen. We're wondering, of course, can we bring our motorcycle? Can you be a nature child with a combustion engine? We meet up with Robbie Walton from Admo, just north of Los Angeles. And she takes us on a fast ride through forests, desert, and mountains to their offices in Wrightwood.
Hey guys, ready to go?
It's hard to believe we're just a tiny bit outside Los Angeles.
Okay, you guys, welcome to Admo. We're here. Come on in.
We basically have three different products. One is motorcycle rentals, which is a big thing for us. The second product is dirt bike rides and dirt bike training. Dirt bike rides here in the local area, somewhere around the Mojave Desert, southwestern United States, northern Mexico. This can be a one-day ride. This can be 3, 4, 5 days of touring on a dirt bike or dual sport motorcycle off and on road throughout the areas. And then we have training. We're coaching people how to ride from beginner classes up to intermediate to experienced riders. Something very unique, and I think there's almost nobody out there offering that, where you can learn how to ride and ride to improve on the same day. It's your first day of dirt bike riding maybe. We had people who have never ever been on a motorcycle. On the end of the day we do a 10-15 mile ride. And then the third thing we have is adventure motorcycle tours. A tour which is held on a motorcycle most likely bigger than 600 cubic. While the dual sport tours are held on bikes 400 cubic or let's say 600 cubic and smaller. The dual sport is more dirt bike oriented and 100% focused on the best terrain to ride on. The adventure tour is 100% focused on the nicest sightseeing, and we use the roads which are available. I traveled a year and a half in South America, so we did a lot of South America tours after that. So we have an Inca tour starting out of Bolivia, going through the northern part of Chile into Peru, up to Machu Picchu, and along Lake Titicaca back to Bolivia. I had traveled through Africa, spent 8 months down in Africa. My first idea was I want to cross the Sahara by myself, and I did that amazing adventure, kept traveling, and spent a year and a half in South America, crossed the Andes several times, rode across the Amazon jungle from west to east, went to a huge amount of different countries with different nature and incredible riding everywhere. And then I came up here in the 96, and very quick I learned a combination of riding, sightseeing, and comfort. Accommodations are available. You pull over at a restaurant, you have something to eat. It's very safe. Nobody is gonna hold a gun at you or something out here. and this combination of great off-road riding, which is getting more and more organized. We have maps, we have trail systems out here, supported by the government. That is just amazing. I would say the minimum to contact us is about 4 weeks. You're looking for something to do different than just going to Disneyland, different than just being at the business meeting, 1 day in between, maybe 2, 3, 4 days. And those people contact us. They say, I'm available on this and this day, what can you offer? But we do not have this fixed pre-schedule throughout the year. A tour starts whenever we have enough people. And we can make layouts throughout the same area for more beginner type riding, and on another tour we can use the same area for more advanced type riding. The Mojave Desert in this part of the world, the southwestern United States, offers pretty much everything. You know, if you live in Europe, you're driving down to Africa in order to see some sand dunes. We have it right here. We have the Joshua trees, one of the most unique plants on the planet, growing only out here in the Mojave Desert. We have alpine type of landscape, sequoia forest, some of the oldest living things, the sequoia trees. All varieties, Red Rock Canyon, wide open desert, Colorado River, Grand Canyon, you know, some of the major tourist spots on that planet.
You know, you see the people out there riding and they, you know, you're sitting on the sidelines and you're, I'm gonna learn how to ride that. And if they just go buy a bike, you know, you're just struggling. We teach people how the basics, we teach them how to shift their weight, which really helps in doing a lot of different cornering and in tight turns on trails where you may have to go down a steep kind of hill and there's a drop off. You want to be able to do that right. Distributing your weight on the bike is going to help that. A lot of street bikers, they lean into the turns. We teach you how to shift and push the bike into the turns. Sand's a little scary, you know, I mean, it's not your normal thing that you'd encounter on a street bike. A street bike rider who's doing fantastic in the class, they're moving along, you know, they're learning all the basics. By the time they get to the sand, that's where they we have to work a little more. That's what I've seen. I mean, some of the areas that we went on, unbelievable, the scenery. I mean, you're never going to see it unless you're on an adventure bike. This is a kind of a tour that you need to do before you die. If you're a dirt biker, you've got to do our tour. You got to do our LA to Vegas tour. It starts out in the LA area. It takes you over areas that only 1% of people get to see. It takes you from heights of 8,000, 9,000 feet elevation down to the lowest point of the Americas, Death Valley.
Wow, these guys sure know the dirt and the desert.
They sure did. Let's get dirty in the desert. Let's ride!
I got one boot on!
I feel like a gladiator. I'm ready for them to let out the lions. It's like going downhill skiing with all this gear. It's amazing. And you gotta have one of these with built-in drinks. You will have a sense of loss of traction. That is, the loss of traction is part of the sport.
A tight turn on your bike, your rear end's going to slide out. Instead of grabbing, panicking, or stiffening up, you're just going to flow with it. Oh yeah, and you're just going to keep on going.
Years. So this is something you don't have as much feeling. It's almost like having road racing boots.
You kind of tamp it down into first, tamp it down when you're downshifting. Like this. You're going to rest your foot there. You're just going to you want to switch, you want everything to be in a line like this. If something happens to you...
You don't want to have your elbows locked out. That would be bad, right? You hit something hard,
you break your elbow.
you break your elbow. You
So
want to have that
aggressive,
cushion here too.
A little bit forward with your head up.
After the basic safety rules and arm and body positioning, we got to do our first exercise, getting to know the dirt. We learned to use the rear brake only, totally opposite of street bikes. So the first exercise was to have one foot on the rear brake and the other on the ground. Go, stop, get used to the dirt, one step at a time. Next exercise was also a brake exercise. Get up to a good speed and then stomp on the rear brake and see how long you could glide. Wow, it was sure slippery, just like a skating rink. Then it was time to start balancing. We had to make a super tight turn around a little cone. Our butt was supposed to hang way out on the outside of the turn. The head looking over your shoulder, wheel turn all the way, and then go round and round. Pretty tricky. On a street bike, you don't like it when your rear tire starts to skid. It feels like you're losing control. On a dirt bike, you have to skid the rear wheel in order to turn 90 degrees. So get up to speed approaching the corner, stomp on the rear brake and turn slightly away from the curb. The rear skids and slides, turning the bike for you. Once the rear wheel is lined up with the new direction, let go of the brake, the rear tire grips again and you can accelerate. That took a while to get used to. Next exercise was to get used to steering with your feet. We had to stand up, go pretty fast and far, pressing on the foot pegs 1 foot at a time. It was like skiing a bit and it felt like flying.
It was easy. I must have been doing something wrong.
So that rotation of getting on the seat, off the seat, helps circulation and that kind of stuff. By standing up on the bike, you can bend your knees. We were doing a drill out there where we're keeping our knees somewhat locked, just slightly bent. This is on a flat surface where we're doing speed and we're showing you the turning dynamics of the bike while standing up. But what happens when you have bumps, jumps, tree trunks, rocks? So when you have those kinds of obstacles, it is an advantage for a couple reasons. Number one is by standing up on the pegs, you can then bend your knees. So you not only have 11, 12 inches of travel in your suspension, you also have an additional 10 inches of travel because you're able to float on top of your bike, and it's like skiing moguls. Okay, Maria, how was it?
That was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it like you imagined?
Yes.
Like you ever in the shower? So, do you feel like you're an off-road pro now?
ready to slip and
Are
slide?
you sure there?
Okay.
It's a good ride, so we gotta go up hard enough.
Go, really?
That's good, that's good.
After more than an hour of riding the bumpy area, playing with the terrain, we started to feel pretty beat. We had to rest our legs, so we stopped to relax. It was only Steve, one of the instructors, who just couldn't get enough. He could have gone forever doing jumps and wheelies.
Hey, it's nothing like going out with a group of friends out riding and just playing with the terrain. Nothing gets better than this. Good time.
Love it.
Maria, you have
It's what I
fun?
was made to do.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'll be back.
Go back
Cool.
to camp. I think we're gonna go for a ride.
Let's ride.
Let's go up there.
Let's ride. Ready?
Ready, I'm ready.
So we followed Admo on one of their adventure tours, way up in the mountains, through deserts and forests. Incredible scenery that we would never have discovered on our own. I couldn't help being fascinated by the fact that this breathtaking nature show is very close to the heart of Los Angeles.
Well, this is great being up here, 7,000 feet. There's the valley, the high desert down below there. So how's your bike running?
It's running real well. I like my new chain and I like my new sprocket.
You know, these hydration packs, these backpacks that have the water reservoir in them are great. I mean, you could just be on the run and just
drink.
Yeah, with as hot as it is out during the summertime, I mean, I don't know what we'd do if we didn't have water up here. And Craig, you know where we're going with your GPS, right? We're not going to get lost today.
I got our Garmin GPS already programmed with our route in there, and it has our location. We're going to go down to the Mormon Rocks and underneath the freeway and follow the railroad tracks and head out to the desert.